Coming up, a major takeover set to help save the finances for Port Pirie's smelter and why local farmers need better access to financial drought assistance. Tonight, a financial lifeline for the Port Pirie smelter and a push for farmers to get better access to drought relief.
From our 7 Spencer Golf Studios, your nightly news with Treloar begins now.
Good evening. The owner of Port Pirie's lead smelter Nearstar is set to be taken over by a major shareholder and one of the world's biggest commodity traders from Europe. The deal will give the financially struggling company a lifeline and likely save it from going into liquidation.
A planned takeover of Nearstar, a sign of relief for Port Pirie. Dominic Beaton, 7 Spencer Golf News.
Emergency services are currently battling a blaze in the Clare Valley, which is believed to have started from a controlled burn-off. 4 firefighting aircraft are working to contain the blaze, which poses a threat to anyone and anything directly in its path. The fire is burning in a southeasterly direction toward Emu Flat, with conditions continually changing. One Nation leader, Pauline Hanson, stepped out for a visit to Whyalla today in a trip to our region ahead of next month's federal election. The controversial Queensland senator is touring with the party's Senate candidate for the state, Jennifer Game. Miss Game is a client science graduate and lawyer specialising in taxation. They'll visit Port Augusta, Whyalla and Port Lincoln, looking to boost the party's standing. With the Easter long weekend approaching, anglers are being warned against illegal fish catches. Fisheries officers will target our waters over the 4-day break, hoping to not reel in anyone breaking the laws.
It's a tradition for so many families. Fishing in the Gulf over Easter is a popular choice to spend the 4-day weekend. Further information, head to our Facebook page. John Hunt, 7 Spencer Golf News.
Better access to drought assistance for farmers is the new focus for Centre Alliance candidate Andrea Broadfoot. It comes after the region experienced one of its toughest summers on record.
It's the stories of drought-affected farmers doing it tough that's pushing Andrea Broadfoot to voice their concerns. She's now campaigning to make drought assistance programs more accessible.
Farmers are crying out at a time they've worked very hard for their entire careers, and at this time they just need a bit of support.
A piece of Whyalla's migrant past is set to disappear later this year. Council has voted to demolish the old single men's quarter building at the Maritime Museum due to the decaying nature of the structure.
A building that was the beginning of life in Australia for so many Whyalla men now has an end date. Block B was the single men's quarters for those who'd immigrated.
Still to come tonight, preparations underway for Anzac Day ceremonies next week and Streaky Bay to show off its best produce. Hello again. With little more than a week to go, organisers around the nation are busy preparing for the annual Anzac Day dawn service. It will be a special day for many Port Lincoln residents to reflect on the town's strong military history.
It's the annual event that silences the nation. The Anzac Day dawn service, a time to reflect on our history.
A taste of Streaky Bay. That's what's being advertised as the coastal town prepares to host its first long table lunch later this month. With a vision to showcase the region's prime produce, Streaky Bay will host their diners on the local jetty. Organisers teaming up with the National Wine Centre to help select wines to match the menu of locally produced food.
We're also showcasing local oysters, and then we're expanding it out into food that most people probably wouldn't think are around the area, but great lamb, beef, also local honey. Tickets are now on sale and can be found on the Streaky Bay website. Broken Hill locals are being encouraged to get their nominations in for the city's Volunteer Awards. The event has been brought forward this year to coincide with the National Volunteers Week next month.
Volunteers, they are the lifeblood of any community.
The call's going out for people to look around them and look at the people who are serving them.
Stay with us after the break, a wrap-up of all the sporting action around the region, and we'll have all the latest weather details. Welcome back. Broken Hill Football League officials say Saturday's Lightning Cup was a great success. More than 700 people came through the gates for their first taste of local football for the year. Organisers say it was great to see the stands full of locals supporting their sides in good spirit. And the Jubilee Oval playing surface held up despite multiple matches being played on it. To local sport now, and Broken Hill tennis is in full swing even as the nights get colder. Here's Patrick Reinke with a look at the recent round of results.
3 one-sided smashings and a down-to-the-wire nail-biter made for an interesting round of A-grade Broken Hill tennis last week. The first match saw top spins get put to the sword by the drop shots. Ross Casey and Shane Keegle recording a clean sweep against myself and Peter Clark. The next 2 games saw identical scorelines at the end of the night. Backhands continued their undefeated run with a win over Swallows, while serves thumped smashers, Matthew Hamburg and Andrew Malloy in good form there. Both scorelines 4 sets 28 games to no sets 13 games. The final fixture was a whole lot closer, coming down to just one single game. Forehands managing to get up over volleys, Corey Pascoe snagging a big win over Russell Power, easily set of the night. Taking a look at Broken Hill Bocce now, Wednesday nights at the Napradeck Club, Grono Wiegans, Alco Penguins and SGC Bombers all recorded wins. The Dewdrop-ins also chalked up a victory over Triple Ds. Looking at some netball now, and in Whyalla, the Ravens got their first win of the season, beating Rupina by 16 goals. Warriors and Kiwi have made it 2 wins in 2 rounds, beating True Blue and YCW comfortably. Finishing off in the northern areas where the season kicked off over the weekend, some great games took place. Crystal Brook beat Orroroo by 10, Southern Flinders just got over Jamestown Peterborough 49-45, and Broughton Mundura downed BMW by 19. So Casey, that does it for another week of local sport around the regions.
Thanks for that, Pat, and time to take a look at what's happening in the weather. Well, it was another very warm day across the Gulf today, with Port Augusta, Whyalla and Port Pirie the warmest centres, all reaching a top of 35 degrees. Port Lincoln 27, Broken Hill 33, and it was sunny and 32 in Adelaide. On the satellite today, thick cloud across most of the state with a cold front and trough, although it wasn't producing any rain. Skies were clearer in the northeast as a high pressure system remained dominant. Looking at the waters for tomorrow, south to southwesterly winds around 15 to 20 knots. Seas at 1.5 metres, and the sun will rise at 6:42 tomorrow morning with sunset just before 6 p.m. A cooler day and possible showers forecast for much of the region tomorrow. Port Augusta is set for a top of 32 degrees, Whyalla 30, Port Lincoln 25, Coffin Bay 21, Woodnurt 28, Corn 30, Broken Hill 32, Port Pirie 30, Clare, Cleve, Kadina and Adelaide all with 27 and possible showers. Moving ahead to the end of the week, and we might be able to see some more showers come Saturday. Temperatures in the 20s for Port Lincoln, 28 and possible showers to start the weekend. Cleve will warm up to 32 degrees for the end of the week for Friday, and some possible showers for Woodnurt too, 28 on Saturday. A warm end for the week for Whyalla, 32 Friday, 33 for Saturday. Port Augusta a hot and sunny end to the week with 34 on Friday. Kadina in for a windy start to the weekend, 31 both Friday and Saturday. Port Pirie also in for a warm end to the week, 33 Friday and 32 for Saturday. Some windy conditions for Clare with 30 on Saturday, and Broken Hill a sunny end to the week, Thursday 27, Friday 30 and Saturday 31. And that's all for the weather and your local news this Tuesday evening. Thanks for joining us. I'll have updates later. Until then, enjoy your evening. Good night.